Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Writers Chat. We are so glad you're with us, whether you're here in person or you're watching the replay. If you are watching the replay, we do invite you to come anytime you want to. We record every Tuesday morning, just about every Tuesday morning at 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Central. And we just love to have you. You can go to our Writers Chat Facebook page for more information and also to join that and join us there. My name is Johnny Alexander. I'm joined today by everybody who's here. We've got kind of not as many people as we usually do, but we're going to be here talking. We're actually going to be doing some writing, so that's going to be really cool. Brandy Brow, one of our co-hosts, is going to lead that, and I'm just going to go ahead and turn it over to her so we can get started. Brandy.
Hi, everybody.
Brandy.
We're going to have everybody stay on today. I recommend that you have open a Word document or something on your computer that you can type, or if you like to do longhand, a piece of paper, you can just jot something down, because we are going to tackle writing prompts and breaking the struggle to start, particularly when we are in between projects, we've just finished something, maybe we don't have something else on the docket, or maybe we're in the middle of a project and we are just stuck and have hit a wall. So I want to give you a couple different techniques to get yourself actually writing, because we're not writers if we don't write, right? Yeah.
Right.
So I'm just kind of curious for my couple co-hosts here. Do you guys have struggles like I do getting started sometimes?
Yes.
Getting started on something new?
Yeah, something new. Yeah, particularly something new. Like you've finished a project, your train has reached its destination, and now you got to get in your train and go somewhere else, but you don't know where you're going or have no plan, and your whole momentum has just halted. Anybody else struggle with this like I do? I really struggle with this. I see heads
Not with
nodding.
something new.
Yeah.
I'm raring to go. Just when you kind of get into it, then I slow down.
Some people are awesome at having fantastic ideas, and they thrive at creating new stuff. And I honestly admire all of you out there, because I'm not one of them. I do better when I have something that I can work with and manipulate. Trying to pull something out of thin air, it's hard for me. So I've really looked around for ways that I can get myself actually writing, or especially if I'm in the middle of a story or something, and I just hit a wall and I don't know where things are going next, and I need to move that wall. So I will employ some of these techniques to get myself writing, or to open up that creativity, or dig beneath that stagnant soil that's just kind of sitting there, just to break it up a little bit and get some things out. So I'm going to talk about a couple of different types of writing prompts. Most of us are probably familiar with getting a word prompt and somebody's written something ahead of time and you write to that. That's a pretty common one. If you go on the internet and you type in writing prompts, you are going to come up with bazillions of writing prompts everywhere. And they are fantastic. I encourage you to do that, because that is awesome. A couple other things that you can do that you might not realize you can do, or you haven't thought about it yet. You can just plain old assign yourself a character, assign a job, an occupation to your character, and then make something go wrong in your character's life. And just start writing with this particular character and this particular occupation. I ended up with an entire story that actually was just accepted for publication, because I decided I was going to just grab a character, assign an occupation, and have something go wrong. In my case, I started out with a character that I decided, well, she's going to be a house cleaner, and she's going to have to clean something, and it's going to be something that when she cleans it, it starts smearing and makes a giant mess everywhere, and she can't clean it. It just gets worse. And the whole story just kind of evolved from there.
Can I say
another thing,
Brandy, real quick?
Yes, please.
I have on my notes app on my thing, I'm not gonna be able to find it really fast because it's probably, interesting occupations. I keep a list of interesting occupations on my phone, just in case someday, I need something that's different. Like, did you know there's such a thing as a genetic forester? So they study the genetics of trees and the DNA of trees.
Interesting.
Yeah, a conservator of family memories. That was actually inspired by Elaine, who did a writer's chat episode on that. Music curator. I mean, and that one's one I've heard of before, but it's like, these are just really interesting. And sometimes you're just, you get tired of characters being lawyers and writers. Do you know how many characters in books are writers?
Yes, lots.
Yeah, a lot. So, just to get beyond those, just keep a list. Interesting occupation.
Yes, and I will say that if you're stuck, and sometimes you do a little bit of research, it will prompt an idea, and then you can go out and you can just grab something out and start writing on that, what you found with research. It can break log jams really well. Another kind of twist on that is you can go and watch a YouTube video or a documentary or something on TV, or go out in public and look for a person in the background of the video or whatever you're watching, and really kind of notice who's not the focal point of the video, and write something about that character, and give that character a story, give that person a story in that moment. What's going on with that? We have a lady that walks up and down the road here frequently, and nobody really knows her story, but I watch her walk back and forth, and I'm like, what is her life like? And I start to think about different things and different stories that she could have. So there's a lot of different prompts out there in the world for us to view and see. Let's see. You can grab a couple of random words, bread and dog, and write something that has to put those words in there. I've done that a few times. That's pretty interesting. Let's see. You can close your eyes, listen to the sounds around you, and write about a character interacting with those sounds. You can also do the same thing for things that you're smelling at the moment, things that you're touching, any of your senses you can use to make yourself a character, and or imagine a character with what you're feeling, and write as if you're that character. The nonfiction, I'm talking a lot of fiction right now, but nonfiction can employ a lot of this stuff as well, just to break up some of the stuff, just to get writing. Two things, well, maybe three things. One of the things we're going to do, paper here. We're going to do an exercise in a moment, and it's what I call a hard start. It's basically writing, you got absolutely nothing, and you're not working off a prompt, you're just forcing words out, and it's what's called free writing. And so we're going to sit and we're going to take 5 minutes to just free write. Now, what you're supposed to do is, when the timer starts, I recommend short times at first. If you kind of like the idea and it works good for you, you can set different times that meet your needs. But you just start writing, even if you don't know what to write. And you can sit there and you can start your words and say, I don't know what to write. This is stupid. I can't figure anything out. And you just keep writing. And the point is, you keep talking on the page, and you do not stop talking until the timer beeps. And it's kind of cool because, it makes you free yourself from expectations. You need to do that. When you're going to do something, a prompt like this, or any of the ones that we do, free yourself from expectations, because the point is not to be perfect. The point is not to find something that's you're actually going to write about. The point is to uncover things that might be hidden under the surface in your subconscious. And it's also to get words on the page, basically priming the pump. Once you get your momentum going, then the rest of your creativity starts to kick in, and what you need to work on. If you write, this really works great for nonfiction, for fiction, whatever you want to do. This exercise, this hard start exercise, is actually a fantastic pump primer for your brain to get going and get moving. Interestingly enough, if you kind of struggle, and you can also doodle and have similar pump priming results because it's activating the same side of your brain that you use to write. So you can like doodle or you can listen to music. So we're going to take 5 minutes now. I'm going to set a timer. I don't want you to think about the timer. And I don't want you to think about getting everything perfect. I just want you to keep talking during this exercise. And then when it's up, we will share some of the things that we wrote down. It can be really interesting. We can have all kinds of people that are writing, I don't know what to write, I don't know what to write. You know what? That's okay. That's okay. I have done that lots in the past. But eventually when I get through that and it starts moving, and then I'm in a frame of mind to write. So that's what we're going to do now. Everybody ready?
So it doesn't matter if we do write fiction, nonfiction, just write whatever comes to our mind.
Just write whatever. Yes.
Okay.
Write poetry if you want.
Just clarifying.
Write nonsense. I have written down strings of random words, and some of them have turned into some pretty cool poems. So yeah, anything. Just get words out. You want to force the words out at this stage with this particular exercise. All right, let me get my timer up. Not stopwatch, we want timers. All right. Everybody go. All right, time's up, but my beeper didn't go up because my timer says when timer ends, stop playing. Oops. Funny. All right, did you guys get words on the page?
Absolutely.
Excellent. I got all kinds of weirdness on my page. What about you? Weird's good. I like good. Anybody want to share?
Want to say
I'll go. I got snooty cat. So I don't even know how many words I get. Probably not that many. Anyway, purr. Marley stretched in the patch of sun. It was his spot, and he was going to take up every bit of it. He rolled and extended his claws, fully focused on this blissful moment. The annoying canine investigated, whining as he approached the end furthest from lightning-fast claws. Thrice Marley's size, it had learned quickly to show respect before the communication degenerated to a hiss. Sigh, of course it must sniff my butt. Obviously not evolved enough to learn from quiet observation. Still, Marley did not rebuff, and that's as far as I got.
That's awesome. Mine is totally nothing like that. Mine's just a bunch of blah on the page. Anybody else want to share?
Mine was the first effort on trying to get a newsletter started. I'm overdue to do that. So I probably won't include exactly what I have written, but I have the beginnings of just talking to a person.
That's great.
I'm interested in who wrote with a pen and who wrote on a typewriter. Who wrote with a pen? Like, it just Norman, me, and everyone else typed? That's interesting. Yeah.
I typed just so I could blah on the page. Yeah.
I would spend the 5 minutes just looking for a pen and the right notebook to write in, and then I would lose it.
I had to do that when Brandy was first doing it. I said, okay, where is it? I mean, I've got all this paper here, but it's like, where's the paper I actually want to write on? And
Why are we so anal?
I don't know. I have a notebook I use just for writer's chat. So I scribbled in that.
Great idea.
I had one. I don't know where it is.
I have one. I did
Nice.
not use it.
This is Dell. I don't know what picture is on there of me. I'm not sure what's
Does
on the screen. But,
Oh, it's nice and abstract.
yeah, I don't know what it is. But anyways, I'm doing a book. I'm getting ready to do a book launch. So I decided just to write an invitation to those to help me out with the book launch, because my book is coming out June 1st, and it's what I'm trying to work on this week. So
Oh, that's great.
thanks for the
Very
opportunity
nice.
to finally
Very
get it
nice.
done.
Awesome. You guys want to hear the weird, wacky bleh I made?
Sure.
All right. This is really plain old blah, and exactly what I mean by don't give yourself any expectations, just get something down and prime your pump. This is an interesting exercise to partake in, and I hope everyone will find something useful from it. We all have things to say, and sometimes we don't know what they are, but they are in each of us. We love to write. We love to sing. We love to have everything in and out and without and within. There is no wrong way to do this, and sometimes we find gems. I can't take a hidden thing and make it wonderful if I can't take out my heart and share. There isn't anyone left to hide or have. My heart is hidden in the doldrums of life, and there is a brand new day on the horizon I look forward to. We all can do the things we love to share. My world is full of wonderful people, and what? My mind went blank and shifted. My fingers glide with trips and starts across the keyboard. There is light in my eyes, light and dark, heaven and hell, hate and love, everything, anything, whatever will be. Jesus is coming soon. Look to the light and forever embrace him. We hold everything in the keys. Have a wonderful day and see what I want you to see and hear what I want you to hear. prime the pump and have a ball. See the day, take the call, find your way, hear me cry. We all have this before we die. It is a wonderful thing to write together in the day. I can't wait to hear what others have to say before we crash and fall and have a ball. The day is wasting away. We will redeem life and liberty and freedom for all. Have a ball, have a ball. The day is coming soon, my friend. It is what it is, cliche and all.
You got some good nuggets there, I'll say.
Yes, that was good.
It's funny because when you just force things out and you try and get them out quickly, things that you don't expect to come out can come out. And yes, sometimes there are gems and sometimes there's some really weird, messed up things. But does anybody want to share anything else before we do the next one? Rachel?
Okay, you asked. Yeah, the first,
yes, I
the
did.
first line's about you.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
She thinks I lack words. No, I lack discipline. Or maybe it's the overwhelm that overwhelms me and I shut down. But I need to persevere. Onward. Why can't I fix myself? I can't fix myself. Help, God. There's a mile-high mountain pile of to-dos beckoning me. What do I pick up first? Focus. I need to focus. What the heck is focus? I'm so ADD. Help me to grow up, Lord, to be faithful. I'm called to overcome with the overcomer. I need to finish, God. Help me run well for your glory. Maybe I need to pursue you, and the sun is calling.
That's pretty awesome. I like that.
Brandy,
Yes.
did you play music during that? Because I didn't hear it.
I did not play music during that.
Okay.
We're going to do that with the next exercise.
Okay.
Norma, did you want to share?
Sure. It is kind of random, but it's just where my brain went. Oh my, so much to write, so little time. I want to write. I have stories of great adventures of a non-assuming detective, but I struggle to get them on paper. Like most writers, ideas often come at the most inopportune time. Some are so amazing. I think surely I won't forget them, but I do. Frustration sets in, and then I get mad at myself. I avoid writing like the plague, then then guilt sets in, and I force myself back to the keyboard. Crickets. Fear sets in. I'm not good enough. I'll make a fool of myself. There's nothing for me to say that's not been said before. Okay, God, I quit. No, you don't, comes as a strong rebuke. Who am I as a clump of clay to tell God the potter what I will do?
Wow. Wow.
Very.
I'm afraid it's gonna rain.
All I can say is you keep going, girl.
Thank you.
I see we have Kim that just joined us. Anybody that joined us in the middle, you're free to keep your videos on because we're doing some writing and chatting today.
And Esther has joined us.
I think, yes. We
Welcome,
have,
Esther.
yep, welcome everybody that came in. We're going to do another exercise. This one is to music. And this one is a little bit different than the free writing exercise we just did. And it will probably require everyone to just be quiet for a few minutes. Well, maybe not a few minutes. We don't have all that long, but be quiet at first and just listen to the music and settle into the music. Because what I want you to do is I want you to put your hands on the keyboard, or this might be a little bit more tricky if you're handwriting, because handwriting can get wonky if your eyes are closed. But it's doable. I do recommend hands on a keyboard if you can. Listen to the music. Close your eyes and listen to music with hands on the keyboard. And just let yourself settle into what you're hearing and allow your mind to begin seeing things from the song. So when you're closing your eyes, I want you, when you start to see any images that come to your mind or something that you think of that the music invokes, write it down. Just type it as it comes. You may find that there's a flash of an image, and then there's nothing. You're just hearing music. And then you might come up with another image, and then there's nothing. Write it down. What this does is it kind of taps into your subconscious that comes to mind when you're listening to the music. So it's a different way to get into your creativity that we don't typically do. So music can take us in, and then we can see things, and then these things can give us pieces that we can manipulate and expound on later if we want to, but they can bring out some interesting things that we wouldn't have thought of otherwise, because we're just settling in and allowing the subconscious to come to the surface as we're listening. So this is going to play 2 pieces, and adjust your volume if it's a little soft or loud for you at first. We tried to do this a little bit beforehand to make sure it wasn't too loud. And then it'll play 2 pieces, and then the music will end, and when it ends, we'll all come back together or not. Anything that we wrote as this came to mind. I think we're all set to do that. Is everybody ready? All right, I'm just going to move my Zoom screen a little bit so that I can see where I'm working. Okay, everybody got their ready to go? Look, I'm looking up at you guys. Doesn't look like I'm looking at you guys, but I am. Let me just switch to my music. Okay, here we go. All right, that's it. That was a little different, yes?
Yeah, that was an interesting combination of juxtaposition of music.
Yep. That was really
different type of output, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Much more stream of consciousness for me. I mean, there were complete sentences, but there was also just stuff.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, everybody's going to do things a little bit differently. That's one neat thing about the different types of ways that you can get yourself writing. You find the ones that work for you and ones you like better, or ones that work for a particular project that you know you kind of gotta do, or if you have no project at all. Some things are going to work better than others, but it's kind of neat the things that can come out and something new that you haven't tried before. Does anybody want to share? Did people actually get something down? Did they see things? Awesome. Pam.
Okay, what's really weird is I wrote third person present tense. I never write present tense. And I didn't look up, I just listened. So anyway, the brothers make their way to the lake to greet the rising of the full moon. They've walked this path for 1,000 years. No changes, ever. Only the men change. The youngest in the back, the older in the front. Robin, the newest member, was chosen to carry the book of prayer for the evening. He feels honored, scared, puzzled. Why him? He takes soft steps, concentrating on what the soles of his feet feel. Please don't let me drop the book, he silently pleads. Love for God's creation wells up in him. His heart beats faster as they approach the appointed place, blessed by the Messiah. The older monks begin to chant a psalm to the moon. Robin is waved forward by the priest. He approaches, kneels on one knee, and lifts the book. The priest takes it from him and opens it to the bookmarked page. They all wait in expectation, waiting for the first light to cast its rays on the waters. Robin hears a voice inside his mind. You have been chosen, young warrior. It has pleased me to choose you for this task. Will you accept? Robin holds his breath. Me? Why me? Who is speaking?
I want to read the rest of that.
That can write like a story, like, you know, and just come up with it, and that's really very good. There's not, I don't even know how much revising you would have to do. So kudos to you.
Oh, thank you. It's the music, yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. Anybody else want to share? Melissa?
No. Well, obviously we got stuck on a similar theme. So mine is, the bell chimed across the field, a resounding summons to vespers. Voices floated in harmony from the sanctuary beyond and beckoned Brother Markin to join the call to worship. A sense of peace often settled upon him like the dew over Tummins hills when he knelt to pray, a purpose to commune with the King of heaven and earth, a reviving, an awakening of the spirit that imbued life in his bones. Here he belonged. Arms outstretched, he offered his words to the ruler of all.
Wow.
Cool.
That was good.
Yvonne?
Mine is totally different. I mean, really totally different from what y'all wrote.
That's great, though. I can't wait to hear.
Oh, God, please don't take me yet. I didn't finish that book you gave me to write. I went all over the place. A friend goes to Starbucks. If I went there, I would talk to everyone there, make friends with every single person, and not write a thing. I know you made me this way, but how on earth? Or rather, when will you transform me to glory to glory? I can do it. This is when it switches to the dance music. I can do it. I can do it. Maybe a little dancing first, and then I can write for half an hour or so. Another break to stretch and back to work. Don't let me turn on the Hallmark Channel. If I see a good movie, I'm done writing. I'll forget I was writing and only supposed to be on a short break. But you can count on it. I'll complete my steps and stretches. danced with weights and a tension ball. I should remember to get back to the writing, but I'll file my fingernails, even trim my toenails during the commercials. Okay. I know I justified the time on the movie. I asked you to be my CEO of time management, and then I push you aside and take control again. Good grief. Transformation. You'll have to tie me to the chair or the stand-up computer table.
I love it.
That was
Yoo-hoo!
Yay, totally relate.
I think a lot of writers can relate to that one. That you need to, work on that a little bit and then send it into something.
Yes.
Writer's Digest.
That was great.
Right.
I really, God gave me the word transformation and I don't see it happening.
That's because God works in secret, Yvonne.
Yes.
It's really secret.
And his view is better.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to probably keep me on it another year. And said, okay,
Yeah.
let's go around this mountain again.
Does anybody else want to share?
I will, only because mine is just way off like what you all did too. I mean, it was
Mine is too.
so yeah, just to show a different perspective. But I feel like I made a really big boo-boo in here, so you'll know because you know music and I'm not as musically gifted as you
Okay,
are.
now wait. There is no wrong here.
Okay, there may not be a wrong, but I did attribute something. So I do want to know if I was right or wrong when it comes to that. But wait till I'm all done and we'll see. You'll know what I'm talking about when I get there.
Okay.
Okay. It starts out, a chiming clock puts me in such a different direction than the music, the chant that is coming after and between the chimes. I think of monasteries and monks and long robes and mysterious buildings with tunnels and hidden places. Is it monks or monks? Cells or whatever that are small and barren. Medievalism and fear and want and hunger in a time when people lived and died in a very small circle, both geographically and as far as family was concerned. Their worlds were so small, but the chimes, the clock, that is what I want to hear most because that is the sound of nostalgia and happy times and Big Ben. The music changes and I can't yet get hold of it. An Irish tune, perhaps? What are the instruments that are taking me to a land of green isles and wind that blows across the moors? Or am I totally off base with that assumption? And is it some other music, some other heritage being played here? I don't know. But the green, the rainbows, the shamrocks, I've gone into Ireland even deeper with the myths, and perhaps we'll skip over to Scotland too, and Wales. These are the places I feel a deep connection with, and it may be because of my way back Appalachian heritage that is connected to Scotland with that ridge that goes from the mountains here to the cliffs there beneath the ocean. Is there such a thing as memory embedded in our DNA so that the connection is genuine and not only a strange, futile wish? I don't know the answer to that, but I know this music stirs my soul and makes me want to dance in a circle with flowers in my hair and be young again, daisy chains and clapping and neighbors and families. But the poverty is there too, and that seems more than I can abide with my 21st century sensibilities. Who doesn't want running water and indoor plumbing and hot showers? That's what keeps me from time traveling to the past. That was the end. It's like, really, that's what keeps you from time traveling? Otherwise you could, So it's like, duh.
I loved it.
I did too.
I do
That was
too.
very
Yeah.
good.
And okay, and remember, the purpose of these are to help you to get writing. Did you do that?
Oh, absolutely.
So then you didn't do anything wrong.
Nope.
Not at all.
But what is the music? What was the heritage of that music? Are you going to tell me? Do you
The
have-
heritage?
What was
I
it?
don't think there's necessarily a heritage. That particular piece was by Two Steps from Hell, and they do all kinds of epic music like that.
Okay. I really loved it. I did. It just really spoke to me. I loved it.
The first one I set up to try and help people to get into a frame of mind of listening to the music, really for the second one. Because sometimes it can take a little bit of time just to settle into listening.
Yeah.
It does for me. Mine is totally different. And I wrote based on images that I saw in my mind. Not everybody sees images in their mind. I see pictures sometimes. So that's what I wrote down. So I wrote people, church cathedral, arches, lines of people walking with sensors. I wrote censors. That is not what I meant, but you know, I'm typing with my eyes closed, you know, and I don't type so good sometimes. Open field, flying over hills and mountains, eagles soaring, sun shining down, warm, bright, healing, dancing carefree in a field of yellow, open plains, joy, soaring, high up on the sky, rivers, flowing, want to fly like and soar like the eagles, tall cliff, a mesa. And then at the end, I finally got a picture that I wasn't expecting to see. A group of freedom fighters atop a cliff finding a new home and freedom. And oh gosh, what now? Pain. Can't read what I typed. It says, oh, it's supposed to say pointing. It says painting. There's going to be fun things when you type with your eyes closed, I tell you, unless you're like a perfect typer. I'm not one. Okay, anyway, pointing across the plain, which says Palin, went across the plain below to a new home, and then they started to head down the cliff and go in that direction. But you know, at the end, I got a picture of people with a goal and something that they were doing, and it took me towards the end of that segment of listening to get that out of a subconscious that I didn't know was there. I've listened to that particular piece quite a while, and I always see soaring and eagles, but I have never yet seen a group of freedom fighters or people searching for a new home to live. So that was kind of neat. So that, see, mine is really different from the rest of y'all. I'm like, wow, y'all are writing good stuff, but I got words.
Yours was good. I have to go. So this is fun. Hope we do it again.
I think we're going
Bye.
to thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
we're planning to do more of these types of sessions.
Mhm.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Really good.
Okay. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
When is
Anybody
on
else?
next week?
Anybody else want to share now that you know how mine moves weird? Sophia?
I got pictures too. I think I was thinking of Rachel as I was writing it. I don't know why. Oh, Rachel liked this. And it was to the second piece. I had two totally different pieces. Cobblestones protect / herd leather soles taken from the souls of large beasts that once roamed a plain on this very land. Still, the spirit of the beast strives to rise from the tethers / boundaries of the paved and corridored civilization. What is so civilized about this city anyway? The predators blend so easily with the prey, they all wear the same clothing. What upheaval would it take to free the souls imprisoned here? They fear destruction, but do not know it is accomplishing their independence. Fly, souls, fly. Be as you were created to be, not bound or fettered, but flowing with the grass.
Interesting how a lot of us got a dancing, flying type of vibe from that second song.
It's like when it first started, I saw two things. I saw cobblestones and that like sandy colored cobblestones and flowing plains.
That's neat. That's neat. Wow. Rachel?
It's kind of interesting because I'm a lot of us have some of the same stuff. So I don't know if you want me to share this.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead. Up here.
Kind of all over there. Time is calling as she marches on. She waits for no one. Come, redeem me, she says. Time is calling me. She waits for no one. Make your mark. Rise, follow. The way is shrouded and the road is steep. My footing on shore. But I'm a seeker and I follow. Upward, onward, forge forward. Others will follow. One step, next step, stumble, rise. Onward to the call. Victory waits. Breakthrough. Tears. Sorrow, joy. Carry on and know him. He is faithful. Watch the eagle soar.
Oh, that's great.
Wow. Awesome.
So there was an eagle there, and there was soaring there, and there was seeking, and so I see that in others.
The music exercise, what's really cool about it is that you can kind of direct a little bit where you want your writing to go by the type of music you choose. Now, I was going through a whole bunch of music trying to figure out, okay, what am I going to play today? I listen to a lot of music. And, one of a whole set, I listened to flamenco. I'm like, oh, this would be cool. And I'm like, that would generate different types of images. So try this exercise with different types of music, slow music, upbeat music, flamenco, jazz, and see what comes out. And then you can take pieces of the images or full stuff that you guys have written, and you can manipulate it, work it, expand it into something, which is the whole point of doing these things. It's to help us get writing, break any log jams that we have, and find some gems, because they're in there. They're in each of us. It is getting close to the time to go. I have another exercise that I would like you guys to do, but I would like you guys to do it after the chat in your own space. And then you guys can post your results, if you would like, in Writers Chat members Facebook group. If any of you are not yet in the Writers Chat members group on Facebook, it's there. We welcome you to join. And because you join, and then all of us will get together, you'll see different notices for the next writing chat coming up, and all kinds of things. It's a great group of people. So you just send in a request to join, and yeah, it'd be good. But this exercise is kind of a combination of the traditional prompt. It's like the traditional prompt and then a little free writing. So I would recommend setting a time frame that you would like. You can set for 5 minutes. You can set it for a little longer if you would like. And I would like you guys to write to the prompt, I can't unsee.
I can't unsee.
Courtesy of Norma, who came up with that wonderful prompt. I liked that one quite a bit.
I can't
I can't unsee.
Okay.
Well, I will tell you, now it is snowing outside my window. It was 70 degrees here yesterday, and now
It's snowing.
Wow.
Oh.
You said snowing.
Oh my God.
no. I mean, it's little, but yeah, it's actually snow.
I'm so jealous. We didn't get any this year.
See?
So what's about these different types of exercises to get you writing? Do you think any of them will be useful for you sometimes?
Yeah.
Nods? Yeah.
Yeah, I really like, I mean, I enjoyed both of them, but
I can't figure out which one. I cannot get out.
I really liked the music one because I felt like there was more, like as I went on, I stopped paying attention to punctuation, and I never stopped paying attention to punctuation. I think it's because my eyes were closed too, but just the music, and it just did these long, lead on sentences. So it was much more freeing, and I'm not usually, even when I free write, it's not that freeing as the music about it. Yeah. So yeah,
I think it really helps to close the eyes and just really focus. And you can do the same thing with the prompt that I mentioned earlier, closing your eyes and listening to the sounds around you and typing, or closing your eyes and feeling sensations around you, which can be really cool when you're outside. If you have, like, if it's warm, you can feel, if you really focus, you can feel things that you don't usually pay attention to. And it can create some interesting writing along that lines too. So I'm glad this has been really helpful. It's getting to be the top of the hour. So I think Johnny will probably stop the recording.
I will in a second.
What do we have going on next week?
Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. Julie Lavender, who is the author of a devotional book called 365 Ways to Love Your Child, is going to be on here, and she's going to be talking about writing devotion. So I think it's been a really long time since we've had anyone just focusing in on that topic. So, very excited to hear from Julie. And what she did was actually just write, 1 day a year, ways to love your child, and was able to get a book proposal and a contract and have that book published. So, it'll be really great to just talk to her, or, have her talk about writing a devotional and also about her publishing experiences. And Brandy, I do want to thank you and Norma too for the suggestions. as far as putting this episode together specifically. This was really fun, and it is something that we're thinking about. It may not be with writing prompts, but doing these, what did we call it? Just come right with
Come right with us.
Come right with us.
Yep.
Yeah, just come
Yep.
right with us, and we'll be doing some more of that throughout the year. So yeah, so glad to have everybody here today, and hope to see you next week. And thanks again if you're watching the replay too. We'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks.